What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 25 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best abilities to be using right now on the offensive side of the ball, with the recent AP update being allowed 9 on offense and 12 on defense, combined with the brand new season in Season 7. I figured it's a great opportunity to do a refresher on the best abilities you should be using. We're going to cover offense in this video. More than likely, tomorrow we'll be dropping a video on the best defensive abilities, and I'm going to be breaking these down by positional group. We're going to be using MUT.gg/abilities to cover everything. Really great website for you to use for all of your MUT needs outside, of course, watching my YouTube videos. Shout outs to y'all that are here. Let's go through it. We're going to start at the quarterback position, and I'll start with Gunslinger, which personally is an ability I don't really care for. I don't use this one. I feel like sometimes the velocity on the ball just isn't to my liking, and I end up throwing interceptions because I expected something different. I'll just say this, a lot of people love this ability, some people hate it. If you use it and you have no problem with it, continue to use it. Don't stop using it because of me. I just personally do not like it, and at this point in the year, there's like a million quarterbacks that are going to get it either for 0 AP or at a 1 AP discount, so you can definitely find a way to save AP and still get Gunslinger on your quarterback right now. Two passing abilities that haven't really been used a ton by many this year, but will start being more commonly equipped, are going to be Set Feet Lead and Pass Lead Elite. Mostly because you just don't see these abilities at an amazing discount, but as we approach the end of the year, that's going to be more common. So Set Feet Lead basically is going to give you increased throw power. It feels like just better velocity on the throws that you make, and with Set Feet Lead, it's all in the name here. Your feet have to be set, mostly going to be in the pocket. You can roll out, stop, and then make the throw, and you're going to get, good. The ball's going to get there a little bit quicker. I've recently been using it on the brand new All-Star Athletes, Taysom Hill, and I don't know if it's just a placebo effect here, but I feel like, he's my favorite quarterback right now, that I feel like he just simply throws the ball a lot better with Set Feet Lead equipped. Now, there's a handful of cards out there that are going to get it for 2 AP. The best discount you're commonly going to find it for right now is 3 AP, but as more cards come out, you'll see that one discounted more. The better version of Set Feet Lead is going to be Pass Lead Elite, which essentially does the same exact thing, with the exception of you don't have to have your feet set, so you can be on the run. The only thing it won't really work on is going to be high and low passes, but it's a really good ability. Right now, you got a few guys that get it for 3 AP, mostly going to be 4 AP on a handful of players. Obviously, the April Fool's Adrian Peterson that came out today is going to get that and pretty much every other ability that you want for 0 AP. That free card, by logging in and getting that welcome pack, is a great opportunity to test some of these abilities out that maybe you haven't used on certain cards. Now that you have a free card that gets these for 0 AP for the next 3.5 days, go test them out. I'm going to group the next portion of abilities all together, and we're going to talk about Master Tactician, Hot Route Master, and Backyard Quarterback. Now, the foundation of this ability, or those 3 abilities, is you're going to get additional Hot Routes. Hot Route Master will give you that, and only that. Master Tactician is going to give you Hot Route Master plus Conductor plus QB Playmaker, and Backyard QB is going to give you the extra Hot Routes plus the QB Playmaker aspect. The one thing that it's missing, or makes it different from Master Tactician, is you're not going to get the Conductor side of it, but there's a lot of quarterbacks out there. I mean, Bo Nix's Combine card is a great example, just to name one, that get Backyard QB for like a 1 AP discount, and also get Conductor as a standalone ability for 0 AP. So rather than spending 2 or 3 AP on Master Tactician, you can essentially build Master Tactician with the combination of Backyard QB and Conductor. So when it comes to those abilities, they're highly recommended, again, because you're going to get all of the additional hot routes, and that gives you corner routes, post routes, wheel routes on your running back, angle routes on your running back. It just totally opens up your offense a ton. The Conductor side of it, whether you're going to use Master Tactician to get that, or you're going to go with the Conductor ability, which is really commonly 0 AP on a lot of quarterbacks these days, is going to allow you to call those hot routes a lot faster. That's definitely beneficial when you got quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, I think Matt Stafford, they all have those slow, like realistic, audible animations where they're doing all this pointing and stuff. That's the best way to circumvent it. Is it perfect? Absolutely not, but it certainly helps. And then QB Playmaker, which you can also equip as a standalone ability, that's going to allow you to move the route of one of your wide receivers the closest to the quarterback. The best example I can use is on a drag route. You can kind of push them upfield if there's open space there and the drag isn't going to be open, and you can do that by pushing your right analog stick in the direction of your nearest receiver in the way that you want them to go. So those abilities, whether it's Master Tactician or Backyard QB or Hot Route Master, though Hot Route Master is limited, those abilities really can open up your pass game, and I would highly recommend having at least one of those on your quarterback. As we go later and later into the year, more quarterbacks are going to get the Truz ability, which is normally an X factor, but you see guys like Taysom Hill and Combine Michael Vick, Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, just to name a few, getting that X factor as an ability. This basically allows you to run with them, and you can use it on running backs as well, but we're talking about quarterbacks right now. This allows you to run with them and for the most part never have to worry about fumbling. The only way they're truly going to fumble is if your opponent gets the punch out animation, which doesn't happen a ton this year. It was really frequent last year, but it's really a good security blanket that if you need to, or if and when you need to take off with your quarterback and scramble with them, if they try to hit stick you, you're probably going to fumble the ball in a non-Truz situation, but with Truz equipped, you're going to hang on to it. And a lot of times it allows you to pick up extra yards that you normally wouldn't be able to, because you have to go ahead and slide. And when it's 3rd and long and you decide to scramble with your quarterback, and that first down marker, or even 4th down, that first down marker is right there in front of you, not needing to slide to avoid a fumble rather than running forward and lowering your shoulders and not worrying about a fumble is huge. So the more quarterbacks that get Truz, the more I'm going to recommend it. And again, it's a big reason, and he's down to 400K on Xbox that I can see right now. It's a big reason why I'm a huge fan right now of the Taysom Hill from the All-Star Athletes promo. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything that's 100% necessary on a quarterback. There's a lot of preference out there, like pocket Deadeye, where you're going to have better accuracy standing in the pocket. Inside Deadeye is going to give you better accuracy when you're throwing the ball inside the numbers. If you like to run with your quarterback, dashing Deadeye is not a bad option, because you're going to get perfect accuracy with all throws under 40 yards when you're running outside of the pocket. Basically, all of the Deadeye abilities are going to cater to your favorite play style, and if you can find them on your favorite quarterback at a discount and fit it in that 9 AP balance that you're allowed on offense, by all means, go for it. Now switching gears to the running back position, without a doubt, if you watch my daily videos, you already know Tank is my favorite ability to put on a running back. It's standard on most players for 2 AP, but you're starting to see it more and more and more be discounted at 1 or even 0 AP on a lot of running backs out there. Just naturally, people like to go for hit sticks. It's the more fun, aggressive tackle to make, and when you have Tank equipped, you're more than likely going to break that hit stick 1 or 2 times. It allows you to pick up a ton of extra yards after the first tackle attempt there. Again, just like we talked about with Truz, when you're in those 3rd and 4th down situations and you're 1 yard away from moving the chains, this is a game-changing ability that truly can help you pick up those first downs. So if you can get this on your running backs, and there's not really any wide receivers out there just yet outside of this out of position Anthony Munoz, which is 3.4 million coins, but if you can get it on your running backs and your tight ends, because there's a handful of tight ends that get it at a discount, like Tucker Kraft gets it, the free Antonio Gates, when he goes up to a 99 overall, he's going to get it for 1 AP. That's where this ability is extremely important. As far as other abilities on your running backs, again, a lot of this is going to come down to preference for you. I'm just going to recommend a few. I really like Human Joystick, mostly because it allows you to quickly change your direction or your momentum with the left analog stick. And I think most commonly, I think it comes into play when I'm running an inside zone out of shotgun. When you're playing a better player or a player that's familiar with those types of plays, they're going to be able to shoot the gap, and you can quickly kind of divert your direction from, maybe the way the place was designed to the opposite side of your center and cut it over really quick. I feel like that doesn't happen without Human movement joystick. So if you can get this for 0 AP and it doesn't impact other abilities that you like to use on your running back, definitely try to get that one equipped. Again, it's my personal favorite outside of tank. If you don't like it or don't feel like it benefits you, you don't have to use it, just a recommendation. It's funny because if you read the description on the right about balance beam, it's basically the same thing that I've been hearing from people in my Twitch chat and just amongst the community. This is a really underrated ability that will, kind of stop you from stumbling and help you kind of keep the direction going forward, especially if you pair it with tank there. After they go for a hit stick, you're usually going to break that tackle, but you do kind of get a stumble animation. Balance beam is something to keep you upright and keep you pushing to get more yards. Just in case you are unaware, evasive is basically spin cycle and jukebox combined. So if you find players out there that get evasive for 1 AP or 0 AP going forward, this one's going to be really good for ball carrier moves. It works on spin moves. It lights up on juke moves. I just want you to know that if you do equip this, don't equip spin cycle, don't equip jukebox. Now, if you get a running back that doesn't get evasive, depending on the running back that you're using, I think that the spin move is way better than the juke move this year. So spin cycle, especially because you see so many people get it for 0 AP right now, is a great ability for your running back. If you prefer the juke move and you're not using evasive, jukebox, again, just like spin cycle right now, not only on your running backs, but you can find it on a lot of wide receivers right now for 0 AP, is just another great way to pick up extra yardage in the run game or after the catch in the passing game. There's other abilities out there that some of you might use and some that I'm just not going to mention in this video because we want to cover the best ones, not every single ability. But when it comes to the running back position, if you pass the ball to your running back a lot, grab and go is really good. Bulldozer is good to combine with tank if you can find bulldozer for 0 AP. Energizer is good if you do a lot of ball carrier moves and find that your player's getting fatigued. So like I said, there's definitely other options out there. Bruiser's good one as well at the running back position, but those that we just mentioned in more detail are going to be the best in my opinion. I've been saying it all year, when it comes to wide receivers and tight ends for the most part, you don't really need abilities for them to be great. Now, we talked about tank on tight ends earlier. When it comes to wide receivers specifically, you have route technician, which there's not a ton of players that get that at a discount right now, but you're going to start to see it more commonly. This is a really good ability against man coverage, so if you have trouble beating man coverage, there's certain route concepts and combinations that you can run to do that, but this will also get you free from a lot of press man coverage out there. So as we see more players get it at maybe a 1 or even 0 AP discount, I wouldn't be mad if you equip it. Outside of that, to me, wide receiver abilities are really more so about after the catch rather than before the catch. Now, a couple things that you can take a look at are going to be like short in and short out elite, mid in and mid out elite, and then deep in and deep out elite. A lot of times you're going to find some of those or one of those for 0 AP on cards, mid in elite on tight ends and wide receivers. Pretty commonly starting to see that for 0 AP. I don't think abilities like this are 100% necessary, but if you do have, ability slots where you get it for 0 AP, you might as well equip it if you're not equipping anything else. And again, that's going to hold true for short in elite, short out elite, mid in, mid out, deep out. Now, with all that being said, all of those abilities have been broken up basically into 2 separate abilities. We are now getting to the point where you're seeing abilities like short elite, mid elite, and deep elite, and those are going to be 2 abilities combined in one. So we're looking at deep elite, for example, here. Receivers with this ability catch more consistently 20 plus yards from the line of scrimmage. Now, deep out elite would be outside of the hash marks. Deep in elite would be inside of the hash marks. When you look at something like deep elite, it doesn't matter where you are in the hash marks. It's just 20 plus yards. And from what I've been told from other Madden pros and people knowledgeable in the game, these deep out elite, mid out elite, and short out elite in versions of them too are supposed to help against knockouts. They're not like a 100% neutralizer, but if you can afford the 1 AP or if there's 0 AP abilities and you're tired of getting the ball knocked out on maybe deep passes, definitely take a look at deep out elite, mid out elite, short out elite, or then the short, mid, or deep elites if you get them at a good discount. Specifically on your slot receiver, if you can get slot-o-matic for 1 or 0 AP, it's a combination of short and elite plus route technician. So again, it's limited to 1 player on a specific part of your offense, but we talked about earlier how, expensive AP-wise route technician is these days. Slot-o-matic is not a bad one. Pretty much everything that I talked about with wide receivers will apply for the most part, as well as tight ends. One that we didn't mention is red zone threat. That's another ability that if you can get it for 0 AP, you might as well equip it. From what I've seen pro players say is that players hang on to the ball a little bit better in the end zone, so knockouts just don't come into play, whether it's, a zone or a man coverage knockout. So again, this is another one. If you can find room for it and you got nothing else to use, go for it. Otherwise, don't make it a priority, but if you got players who get it for 0 AP, it might not be a bad one to equip. And then we're going to move up to, well, actually, let me just rewind that. I skipped all of the apprentices, whether it's running back apprentice, wide receiver apprentice, slot apprentice, because we talked about it with the quarterbacks. You should be using master tactician or hot route master or backyard QB. If you have one of those on your quarterback, you're getting those extra hot routes. You don't need them for individual players. So I did just want to point that out. And now let's end the video with the most boring spot, but a very important video in this one, where we might even do a separate video eventually, within the next month or so, the offensive line. So the meta, the best ability by far on an offensive lineman is always going to be Secure Protector. Pretty expensive AP wise on most offensive linemen, but if you can find it for 0 AP, that's definitely a home run. And primarily you want to work from the outside in. So if you can get it on your left and right tackles, that's ideal. If you can fit it on your guards and your center after that, that's definitely a W. Now, the good news is that Secure Protector, this isn't the good news, but Secure Protector is very expensive AP-wise, and there's just simply not a lot of cards that get it at a discount, but you can build Secure Protector in a sense by using Pass Protector and Run Protector, which are standalone abilities. Obviously, one impacts the pass, one impacts the run, and if you might run the ball a lot more than you pass or vice versa, you can use one over the other, and if you combine both of these abilities, that essentially is what Secure Protector is. And, Team of the Year offensive linemen are a great example. You can pretty much get Pass Protector and Run Protector together in two separate buckets for a total of 0 AP. Now, the combination that I like to go with, because I pass a whole lot more than I run the ball, is I got Pass Protector on all of my offensive linemen who don't have Secure Protector, and then I like to combine that with All Day. As the description from huddle.gg says, if you can combine Pass Protector with All Day, Pass Protector or Secure Protector are best for the first move, like the first initial pass rush move that your defender or your opponent's defenders are going to make, but then All Day kind of holds them there for a little bit longer. So if you pass the ball a lot and you're trying to build up that O-line with abilities, look for Pass Protector plus All Day. If you run the ball a lot more, you're going to end up going with Run Protector, and if possible, you're going to combine Run Protector with Nasty Street. That's like the running version of All Day. It's the better option to choose if you're a run first player. I highly recommend having Identifier on at least one player on offense, whether that's your quarterback or your offensive line. Identifier to me is key because it allows you to not only see who your opponent is using every single play, but there's a lot of times where you run into opponents who don't know how to quick adjust, and because of that, you can see them cycling through their entire defense, and it's kind of a tell in a sense that if they keep going and selecting their defensive lineman on certain plays, they might be putting that player into a zone, and you now know that you can maybe run towards that spot because that defender is no longer going to commit to the run. They're more of a pass guy or pass coverage guy. So it's just little tells like that. There's people who maybe will use their safety when they're in man coverage and their linebacker when they're in zone. So Identifier allows you, and it's up to you to kind of notice those things, but Identifier allows you or gives you the key to go ahead and pay attention to those things. And a better version of Identifier is going to be Omniscient. Now, Omniscient is basically two different abilities in one. You're going to get Identifier plus Threat Detector. Threat Detector can be equipped as a standalone ability, but there's a lot of offensive linemen that get this ability for 0 AP, specifically a lot of the Ring of Honor and Team of the Year offensive linemen. So when you have this ability equipped for 0 AP, not only can you get the Identifier aspect of it, where you're able to see who your opponent is using, but also you're going to get Threat Detector, and that allows you to see who is blitzing you on 3rd and 4th downs, the most important downs in a game there. So it gives you an idea to run towards a blitz, run away from a blitz, throw towards a blitz, throw away from a blitz. That's all dependent on your offensive scheme, but the more knowledge that you have, the better you're going to be equipped, and these abilities can help you do that. And just to close it out, if you can't afford Pass Protector or Secure Protector on your left and right tackles, at bare minimum, at this point in the year, you definitely want to have edge protector. There's so many defensive linemen and outside linebackers that get edge threat or edge threat elite for 0, 1, 2 AP at really good discounts, that this is going to be your best way outside of pass protector plus all day or secure protector to slow those things down. So again, at bare minimum on your left and right tackle, if you have to, you need to spend AP on secure protector, pass protector, or edge protector. And there you have it. Those are right now, in my opinion, the best abilities to be using on offense. If there's any abilities I left that got snubbed, and I may have forgot some, my apologies if so, but there's any that you feel that I should have mentioned in this video that you're using that work really well for you, leave it down below in the comment section. And like I said, tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow, we'll be back with another video going over the best abilities to be using right now on the defensive side of the ball. So thank you for watching this one. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.